This video is for people who struggle with strong negative emotions and that relentlessly push them away, not knowing that they actually show up for their highest good. So my intention for this video is to help you understand and navigate the negative emotions in a way that's beneficial and expansive for you. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Fernando. Welcome back to my channel. And before we dive deep, I'm gonna play a clip for you of an NDE story that I was watching the other day, and what the guy said really resonates with me. Check it out.
All I felt was everything a human ever wants to feel. Just acceptance and love and joy and being held. And all those things, all those negative things that we have about ourselves, they were gone. They were absolutely gone. Things like, anger and resentment or spite or jealousy. In my opinion, those emotions do not travel with us. They stay here. They're tools for us to learn from.
So I deeply believe what he just said, that these emotions, anger, resentment, spite, jealousy, and the like, they belong to the earthly experience. And when we're not in the physical anymore, there's none of that anymore. I always tell you guys in the videos that you are love and that you are light. And it's really true. This is our essence. This is what we are essentially and ultimately. And when we're in spirit, that's all there is. When we choose to come here, we do so with the intention to experience the contrast of what we are, so that we can expand more and faster and in a more meaningful way, I believe. And so when we're here, we experience all these things, but ultimately we chose this for our own expansion. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is that we live in a world of duality. Earth, this plane we currently live in, is a plane of duality. So what does that mean? Think of love. Here we have the opposite of that, which would be anger, right? Hate. So when you're experiencing hate or anger, that means there's a lack of love. So think of a spectrum, right? So on one end you have love, and on the other you have hate, but it's one continuum, right? Hot, cold, good, bad, and so on and so forth. So this is the nature of our experience on Earth. And so if we look back to the emotions the NDE are mentioned, we can see all their opposites, right? So anger is a lack of love. Resentment would be on the other end of happiness, respect even. Spite would be a lack of benevolence, goodwill, affection, right? He also mentioned jealousy, which would be the opposite of pride, the opposite of admiration, right? And so these are like all the positive high vibrations is what we experience as our true nature. And so when we come here to the world of duality, we are here to go through and to experience the opposite of all those amazing high frequency things, so that we can learn from them. So as he said, these are tools that serve us here. So we come here to experience those things and transmute them back to light, right? Because if you're feeling those things, you're going through those emotions, and as that's happening to you, if you're able to transmute them back to light. That is a big lesson, right? In contrast, when we're in spirit and all there is the positive good things, it's almost like there's no means for expansion, if that makes sense. So here, experiencing those things gives us the opportunity to expand, because when you're immersed in the negativity and the strong emotions, and you're able to like transmute and use that in your favor and leverage those to expand, that's like huge growth, right? And so what happens is, in our innocence, in our forgetfulness, when we go through those negative feelings, all we're trying to do is push them away. And then if we remember the principle that what you resist persists, I mean, you're just gonna be stuck in a loop, right? You're just gonna keep experiencing it. And if you're pushing them away, you're causing resistance, and you're basically not learning from the lessons, right? So you're just having a hard time. Those negative things keep showing up because you're not learning from them. So I used to have a belief that people didn't believe me. I grew up with this belief, and only after I had my spiritual awakening did I begin shifting that. So today, I wouldn't say that that's a belief of mine anymore, but I'm still working on it with love, right? I think we all have lessons to, I mean, as long as we're alive here, we'll be learning from the lessons, right? So I used to have this belief that people didn't believe me. And this belief caused me to literally experience this reality. So the way I behaved in conversations, my frequency, my tone of voice, my confidence, everything, my anxiety level, everything reflected the belief. And then I would experience people, I would feel them not believing me, right? And my dad was someone that I felt didn't really believe in me since early on. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, but just to conclude this little bit, now when I experience reflections of this belief, and it's getting weaker and weaker, and I'm facing it less and less, when I do go through them, now I react with kindness. I react with love and gratitude, because when I see it happening, I'm like, thank you for the lesson. Thank you so much for the lesson. When it happens, like, you don't feel excellent, you don't feel amazing. It's like, oh, there's the reflection. But when you're aware that it's a lesson, and it's showing up for you, it's happening for you, not to you. You get to catch yourself in your tracks and be like, thank you for the lesson. Thank you so much for the lesson. What is in me right now that's causing this to be reflected back to me? And then you can sit in silence. You pick yourself up. You be kind with yourself, and you thank the situation. You thank the lesson. When you do that, your frequency goes somewhere very different from, for example, if you reacted as you normally did. For example, oh my gosh, people don't believe me. And then you're angry at the world, you're angry at the people, and you're just perpetuating that very thing that's causing you discomfort, and you're not learning. You can't learn when you're in low vibrations like this, reacting to life, blaming, right? So reacting in a way that's like, almost like hilariously opposite to how you would normally react to negativity, just breaks the cycle. It breaks the cycle. And so, but also you get to learn from it. And you do it with love. Even if you're feeling like a little triggered because it's happening, it's like, thank you for the lesson. Thank you. Thank you. What is inside of me that's still reflecting that back to me? Even if you don't get an answer right away, that's fine, because you're in gratitude and you're in love, right? And so by doing that, like, I experience different things from the world now. And so I don't really see or feel like people don't believe me anymore, as would be the case in the past. So it's really powerful. It's simple, but it takes a little bit of humbleness, I would say, and self-compassion and love. Okay, so now the third thing that I wanted to share with you here that's related to all of this is about pre-birth planning. Soul contracts, picking your life. This is something that really resonates with me. And it's something that I truly believe in. Actually, I more than believe in it. I know it. I know it on a soul level. I can't really explain, but it's a knowing. It's a knowing. If you know anything about the work of Dolores Cannon and Michael Newton, they talked about pre-birth planning and choosing your life. Now, this subject can be triggering for a lot of people, and I'll explain in more detail in a second, but just to disclaim it, if you don't believe in it, if it triggers you, that's okay. That's okay. You get to believe in whatever you feel like, whatever resonates with you. But pre-birth planning speaks about how on a soul level, your soul, which is light, and in the spirit realm is enveloped and immersed in light. So light and love is all there is, right? After a while, it's like, I want to experience some contrast. I want to expand. And so souls choose to come to Earth, which is a very challenging place to be in. It's also called the Earth School, right? You forget who you are. You literally forget that you are light. You literally forget that you are love, right? You come here to play this game where separation is all apparent, right? And people think they're small, separate, disconnected. And the feeling of disconnection for the soul is a challenge, right? Because we're all one on a soul level. In other words, the soul chooses to come. And when the soul is preparing to come, the soul gets to see a few options of lifetimes to pick from that are appropriate for the lessons the soul chose to come here to learn. So for example, the way I interpret it now is like my sense of insecurity or low self-esteem, this thing that people don't believe me, right? So this was one of the lessons that I as a soul picked among others. So like I'm coming here to overcome in the physical world, in the material dense experience where we have duality, right? Where we have the negative emotions. So my soul, I as a soul picked a lifetime where I would experience that. Low self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, people not trusting me, not believing in me. And so we choose the nation we'll be born in, the race we will be, our parents. And this is triggering for a lot of people, especially people who have a horrible experience with their parents, right? In my case, my father was reflecting back to me since early on this idea, this feeling, this principle, this lesson of me stepping up and believing myself regardless. The people you come in contact with, the parents, your siblings, they are there to help you accomplish the missions you decided to come here for. But of course, we forget everything, right? And so we don't remember. When you awake, when you have a spiritual awakening, when you're on the path, you begin to remember all these things. And so things that were just hurtful and painful, you begin to see that they're there for a reason. And if I continue to push away the strong emotions of like not being believed in, I would just like be stuck in a loop and not learn. And I was stuck in a loop, not learning for a long time. And so when we use the negative emotions and the adversities to our benefit, they begin to appear less and less because you're learning from the lessons. I'm just gonna move because the sun is like, hold on, I just love to be in the sun. Yes. And so they begin disappearing, and you expand and you become more powerful, you become more expansive, you become more confident. And so the message here today in this video is that we get to remember that the bad experiences are actually happening for us. They're not happening to us. And the more we remain in resistance and in hate and in disbelief, right? The deeper the hole becomes, right? And so the next time something negative appears in your experience, you will feel it. But if you can, shift into awareness. Like, what is this? What is this feeling? What is this trigger? What is inside of me that is seeking healing, that is seeking transmutation from darkness back to light? Why does it keep happening to me? Have I been kind to myself about it? Have I embraced it? Have I hugged myself? Have I thanked the situation for the lesson? When you thank this negative situation for its lesson, It's very powerful. If you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, try it. You don't have to take my word for it. You get to try it for yourself and see how powerful it is. And so if you want to transform your life, that's an excellent way to do it, by reversing. Reverse it. Do things differently, right? Shift to love no matter what. Because ultimately, life is happening for us and not to us. Remember, you are love. You are light. Literally, that's who you are. You are localized here right now to expand. And the earthly life gives us this opportunity. We feel pain. We feel the strong emotions. Yes, we do. We're here for this. Knowing about these things doesn't exempt you from the human experience. So when I share these things with you, hopefully it's helpful to you, and it's very healing for me as well, because I get to remember this on a daily basis. So be very kind with yourself. We all need to remind ourselves of the spiritual truths on a daily basis. So we all get to love ourselves. I hope this helped you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.